Uh, I wasn't initially planning on making a part two of depression and my thoughts on depression and the shit that I have to deal with every day of my life. But I decided to make a part two because I feel like hopefully you guys can still hear my voice because I have a box fan blowing behind my head because it's like fucking 200 degrees in my room. Anyway, um, I have to make a part two just because I feel like there are some things that I forgot to talk about in part one, and also today marks the 10th anniversary that I lost my friend Chris from depression, not from suicide, from depression. He died from depression, not suicide. I'm sick and tired of hearing people say that, oh, he killed himself, he died from suicide, when in fact they die from depression. I know not every suicide is from depression. You know, a good example would be like the Nazis at the end of World War II, who all tried to kill themselves to avoid, punishment and death penalties and shit. So they went out their own way. So I know that not every suicide is related to depression, but most of them are. And we need to realize that a lot of suicides are not cowardly. They don't come from a place of cowardice. They come from a place of struggle and true mental illness and other neurological diseases that are within the people who are suffering. So, yeah, 10 years ago, it's already been a decade, man. It still fucking feels like yesterday that I got the news that my best friend from college, like the only one who like really cared about me in college, was the one person who died. That video I made ended up getting like 6,000 views over time. It's now like my 10th most viewed video on my channel. So for those who commented, you know, uh, saying, I'm sorry for your loss, I appreciate that. I thank you. There were a few nasty comments here and there that I'm not even gonna bother wasting my time replying to, because their voices don't matter. Uh, but I really appreciate all the kind words from everyone else in that video. And yeah, man, it's always a tough battle. It's that shit tends to stay with you. Um, he had depression. He was very lonely, like me. Male loneliness. He never had a girlfriend. He was 23 years old, and he just felt like he. I imagine I kind of know how he felt, and I know why he was brought to that point. And I don't really want to get into it because if I do, I will probably turn into a sobering mess. But yeah, I if there is a heaven, I can't wait to see him again. And hopefully people who die from that are still in heaven and not hell. I mean, it would be wrong for people who suffer from mental illness to go to hell. But anyway, I don't personally really believe in that shit, unfortunately. I don't really. I'm more agnostic. If there's like real like afterlife evidence or if I experience like a what do they call it, near death experience where you see like spirits of your loved ones or something. If I see shit like that, then maybe I'll be like, Okay, maybe there is a God and maybe there is a heaven and shit like that. But anyway, moving on to the things that I kind of forgot to mention, or things that I kind of want to weigh my opinion on more. I want to talk about PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder, and how it really worsens your depressive symptoms. A lot of shit happened in my life. I've seen some bad shit. I've experienced some bad shit happen to me. Just about a month and a half ago, I'm not supposed to talk about this because of a fucking HEPA violation, but at this point, because a lot of people have not been getting along with me at work, I don't really care if I lose my job at this point. But when I was cashing out a group of customers one afternoon, this happened on May 21st. A neglected piece of a metal pipe went through the ceiling right above my head and landed on my head, the sharp side of it, and lacerated a good 2 to 3 inches of my head open, right down to the fucking skull. I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it. I mean, the scar is fading, but it's probably still there. If that wasn't a good enough job, I'll just post some photos of it. It upset a lot of witnesses. A lot of people witnessed it. Enough to the point where a HEPA violation it wouldn't really do much because word of mouth spread, and everyone knows me now because of it. I needed 5 staples, and I was able to get them out in like a week, and it was pretty damn painful. So I've had shit happen to me that like wasn't complete. It wasn't my fault at all. Like shit, I don't know why so much shit happens to me. Like or me having to witness bullshit happen to other people. That happens too. Like fucking like the time at my last day working at Dunkin' Donuts, when I witnessed my coworker almost get her fucking fingers cut off, and having to pinch her fucking nerve while the ambulances were coming. Like, I've seen so much fucking blood and carnage in my day without having to go to war. It is absolutely absurd. When I got my head cut open that day at Walmart, like, I was the least concerned. Everyone was afraid for me. I, on the other hand, while blood was pouring down my fucking head, and I was still conscious. As a matter of fact, I was walking around. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What is this bullshit? I was just like walking around. They finally was like, Darian, sit in the fucking chair right now. You're going to the hospital. I was like, all right. In those moments, I didn't even care whether I was going to live or die. As a matter of fact, I was actually hoping that would be my last day on Earth. Because I was like, you know what, man? My life fucking sucks. You know what? Just fucking end it right here. That would relieve me of all my fucking pain. All my mental, emotional fucking anguish. I just fucking kill. Just end it. Come on. Come on, Christ almighty. Just while I'm in an ambulance, just have the ambulance get hit by a fucking bolt of lightning and kill me. Like, you fucked up. You suck at killing me. God. If there's a God, he sucks at killing me. I'm somehow still here. But anyway, that carelessness that I had that day of me dying from blood loss, I almost lost consciousness. I was getting really tired and faint when I was in the ambulance, but um, excuse me. But that really just goes to show that I'm at a point in my life where I'm not really afraid to die anymore. I'm not like I have no fear of death. If if a customer tried robbing me at gunpoint, like I'd be like, dude, there's not enough money in my register to bail your fucking ass out. You're getting 20 years at least in prison for armed robbery. If you kill me, you're getting life without parole. So go ahead and fucking kill me, you motherfucker. Because you're not getting a cent of this fucking money. It ain't gonna fucking it ain't gonna make your life better anyhow. So just fucking kill me so you can ruin your life too. That's I genuinely feel like if someone had a gun on my head, I would say those exact words. I am not fucking afraid to die. I am not afraid to die anymore. Because that's how fucking long I have put up with this fucking bullshit. All my depression, all my PTSD, that does nothing but exasperate my depression and my anxiety and shit. And I've just like, I feel like I've reached my fucking breaking point at that. I don't care anymore. I don't care. I'm not saying I'm suicidal, which there are some nights when I do think about it, but I still have things to do in my life. I'm not at that point yet. But I'm also at a point where if it is my time to go, I accept it. I ain't gonna fight. I'm not gonna fight at all. Moving on to bipolar disorder, because I almost feel like I have at least mild bipolar disorder. There are some days when I'm really happy and I'm excited and I'm funny. I'm a fucking funny guy. I make people at work laugh sometimes, you know. But then there are some days where I just, I'm like a really fucking spiteful person. Like, I'm like a really bad person. Like, I'm a fucking hateful ass person who wants to punch someone in the face. Like, it's pretty fucked up, right? And that one day in 2018, when I was trying to kill myself, and the fact that I don't remember a lot of my feelings, you know, during that point in time, I really believe that that was an episode of bipolar disorder, or you know, split personality disorder, whatever. Um, so you know, going back to my topic in the first video, how I say that you know people don't often choose to kill themselves. They're in a specific state of mind where they just simply kill themselves. They're not thinking straight to the point where like they're completely like incapacitated mentally. You know, it's almost like being possessed. Yeah, it can be it can sometimes be so deep where you can't talk someone out of it. You know, it's like it's over. Sometimes they can bring themselves up. I got fucking lucky, man. That day could have ended differently. Um, you know, I someone could have found me hanging from a tree. Which, by the way, in my one of my last Christmas videos, I made a joke about me hanging myself. So that was kind of like me making fun of myself right there. I have really dark humor, so oftentimes I like to turn my depression and my history with depression into a joke to kind of make it a little lighter. So that's another thing. I I think that kind of helps me in a way is self-deprecating humor, me making fun of myself for other people's amusement. I think that really helps sometimes. Um, But yeah, bipolar disorder, you can't blame you can't blame someone with bipolar disorder when they decide to kill themselves. At least, you could say that it's selfish to do it if you're just depressed, but at the same time, it's really not your place to judge because you really do not know what's going on in that person's head. You really don't. Like at that point in time, you have no idea what's going on in that person's head at all. So, um, yeah. Another problem that I have is I have a problem with self-forgiveness. I can't forgive myself for bad things that I sometimes do or have a tendency to say. Sometimes it's by accident, when I hurt someone's feelings. I can apologize to them, be like, man, I'm really sorry. And they're gonna be like, okay, I forgive you. But a part of me, when people say I forgive you, or sometimes to me, I feel like they're only saying it without meaning it. And sometimes that gets in the way of me feeling like I have fully earned forgiveness. So I have a problem with like self-forgiveness issues. I got a problem with my own problems. Um, my own verbal problems, my social skill problems. I have high functioning autism, Asperger's. Sometimes I say stupid shit or it comes out the wrong way, and I end up hurting someone's feelings. And I'm like, I can't forgive myself because I feel like there should be no excuse. But at the same time, I just don't know how to deal with it. I I still think about some of the rotten things that I've said to people, that I may have done to someone. Way like we're talking, 20, even like, when I was a child, when I did something bad, like manipulating a teacher so that I didn't get into detention. Like I did that a couple times. It makes me feel like shit because I avoided punishment. Like I never got a detention, but I've actually gotten suspended once in high school for assaulting a kid who was making fun of some of my other friends. They were bullies, of course, but yeah, I got suspended for a day for punching one of them in the arm. Be like, try that again, and it's gonna be more than a fucking arm punch. And I punched him pretty fucking hard. And I don't know why I brought that up, but I think it kind of not that I actually feel bad about that. That's actually one of my proudest moments, was physically standing up for my friends in high school. The very few friends that I had in high school, when I stuck up to them. But I guess that was one of the exceptions to me doing bad things that I do feel bad for. In any case, I do suffer from self-forgiveness issues quite a bit, and I probably always will. Um, I know I've already discussed this in my other depression video, but I really don't like being guilt tripped into surviving for the sake of other people's happiness and well-being. You know, people are like, don't kill yourself or it's gonna hurt me so bad. And I'm just like, well, shit. I guess I gotta fucking write it out then. For you. Thank you. Thank you for guilt tripping me and lasting longer. Thank you for guilt tripping me into suffering longer for your fucking benefit. You. Like, don't you think that is more selfish than calling someone selfish for wanting to escape from this world? Like really, like, don't you think it's more selfish to be like, you're gonna live, you're gonna keep suffering, so that I don't ever feel like grieving? You know, like what if you had like a terminally ill sibling or something who was like dying from a really fucking painful cancer, who was on his way out anyway, like, like you're not gonna like mercifully euthanize him to like put him out of his misery. You're just gonna be like, oh no, no, he needs to stay. I can't deal with it. You need to stay and be as in much pain for as long as possible. You need to stay in that hospital bed while I pray for you. Fuck off. Let us die in peace. Like, let us die with fucking dignity. Let us die, like, with release, and like, with that relief. And I'm not saying people should commit suicide. I'm just saying I don't think it's right to call someone selfish because you're selfish. You're selfish. You're selfish. You're selfish. Be more considerate of other people's pain and what other people are really going through, and how it's like destroying their fucking lives to a point where they're dying anyway on the inside. They're just fucking dying anyway. Like, think about that. And instead of saying that and making them feel even more like shit, how about being there for them? As much as you fucking can. How about hanging out with them? How about spending time with them? How about taking them out to lunch and telling them about your day and making them feel like they matter in your life. Like, to them, that they matter in your life. Take them out to lunch. Take them out for coffee. Take them out for dinner. Take them out to see a movie. Take them out. Help them. Make them feel like they belong in this world. And stop pointing fingers and being like, you're selfish. Don't do that. Don't fucking do that. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'll be alright. Sorry. I just hate when people don't fucking understand, I fucking hate it when people just don't fucking understand. Like, if I die, I don't want to be remembered as a fucking selfish asshole. Like, if I do end up committing suicide, a few years from now, I don't want to be, I don't want to be remembered as someone who wanted to inflict pain upon others. I just lost my therapist. She left. I've had her for like almost 8 years now, and she was fucking awesome. She was like to me, she was a friend. She was a good friend. Maybe to her I was just another client. Another one of her hundreds of clients, but to me she was a friend. And now I gotta get another fucking therapist. I feel like I just lost all that progress. That progress is wiped. Maybe it's not. Maybe all my troubles are in the records. But I just lost my therapist that I had for over 7 years. We were in a writing group for, I want to say 5 of those years, or at least 4 of those years I was in a writing group with her. With, people who really grew to understand me. And that's all over. And that's all gone. And so yeah, guys, I'm not really I'm not doing well. Even with my antidepressants, even with marijuana, you know, I just feel like I'm just gripping. I'm gripping, and I just feel like I'm being pulled away even farther, farther. And I can't fucking take it anymore. And every once in a while, I'll hang out with a friend who really cares about me. And what sucks is, you know, it has to be like a one-on-one thing, like a one-on-one bonding. Because when I'm with a group of people, they often choose to interact with them and not me, and it makes me feel even more left out. Like, why the hell am I there? What am I doing there? I don't belong there. So it makes me feel even more lonely when I'm in like social gatherings. You know, call me call me egocentric, but I just you know it's like what Robin Williams said. You know, it's like there's like what's even worse than being alone is being with people that make you feel even more alone, even more lonely. You know what sucks? Even besides my depression, there are other things happening that I genuinely am not happy with, like the fact that physical media for like video games and movies and like everything, that it's like they're all trying to take that away. So I'm having to deal with that. Which, by the way, I know I said in my previous rant um about like the Steam Machine and GTA 6 and shit. I wrote a comment saying that I won't have time, or I won't bother making a rant about that, but I gave my brief thoughts in the comment. I changed my mind. I think I am going to do a rant on that because I got a lot to say about that. I've decided to be fully pro physical now. And I will tell you why in my next video. Um, I'll probably I'll probably try to do that later today or maybe tomorrow. And I also am gonna make a mini review of Doom: The Dark Ages Revelations DLC. I'm not gonna make a full review just because I don't really have time. If I didn't have a job, if I was unemployed again, like I usually am in the in most of my history of being a YouTuber, then I would make a full review. But I just don't have the time for it anymore. Um, so there's a mini review coming. So those are my next two videos. So stay tuned for that. I'm sorry for crying on camera, but this shit just fucking gets to me sometimes, you know, and I can't help it. But anyway, guys, to end things on a lighter note, when I got hit by that metal on my head, I actually did a skit on Facebook, because I talked to this on Facebook, but I never mentioned any of that to you guys on YouTube. But I am going to share this clip that I made for Facebook on YouTube right now. So I hope you enjoy it. I made fun of how fucking small the Walmart bags are now, and I hope that makes you laugh. And yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for shopping at Walmart. Have a nice day. What the hell is that? Oh my god! Oh, god damn it!
Oh, why does everything have to hit me? Ah.